So I'm about to start the new nutrition group about the nutrition protocol as usual. So last time we did it in 8 weeks. We're going to take the same structure, and we did what we wanted to show was the steps we take to put people on the protocol, either new people or people have been on it for a while. Like, what do we focus on at first? The first week is usually dinner, because sleep will be a main point of, and always has been, of the protocol, and we want to address that first and foremost. The protocol, obviously, like gaining muscle, getting to see the abs, all that stuff is part of nutrition, right? But it is my opinion anyway, that it should not be the way we look at nutrition. It should not be like, I'm doing nutrition to get a six-pack. I'm doing it to gain muscle. Like I literally had a question one time of someone who had a ACL surgery on the guy's left leg, I believe, and asking what should be the amount of protein ingested in order to gain the muscle back on the left leg. And the answer is, it's not about protein intake. Obviously, protein, you need to have enough protein to gain muscle, but short of that, it's going to be about training, it's going to be about habits, it's going to be about sleeping enough. There's so many things that come into play for those types of things that I feel it's a disservice of the fitness industry to lead people to believe that nutrition will allow you to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. I got news for you. That's mostly about training. So what should nutrition be about? Nutrition should be about stabilizing you first and foremost. How much food do you need in a day? Right. So we're going to have a challenge in June, for example, where you can only eat when you're hungry or only drink when you're thirsty. How many times a day are you hungry, truly? Like if you look in a week, right? And I'm asking you, how many times per week are you truly hungry? You'll see that it won't be that often, right? Too many times you eat because it's lunch, or because it's dinner time. You're not hungry. You just used to eat at 12 or 1 o'clock or whatever it is, right? Same thing, like you drink because like, I forgot, or I feel like having a latte or whatever. So too many times we use food or drinks for reasons other than hunger and thirst. Then obviously it causes an issue with, sorry, it's a behavioral issue, right? Like you have to start to wonder why, if you're not hungry, why are you eating? Habit, boredom, other issues. So those should be part of the topic of a nutrition call. So again, like to me, nutrition is to stabilize you. It should be two things. First, it should be stabilizing you, right? How much food do you truly need to be at your level? And then past that, eventually, we can start playing with, okay, so do I eat too much or not enough? But it's not based on macros. It's not based on an arbitrary number. It's based on you, right? Do you eat more than you're hungry for? That's a problem. Do you eat less than you're hungry for? That's a problem. And those are the things we're going to look at. And then the second part that I believe is extremely important is that nutrition will influence sleep, for example, because of the typical human patterns. So those are the things that I think should be in a nutrition course first and foremost, and that's exactly what I want to do. So starting on June 18th, that'll be the first call on a Friday, 6 p.m. European time, and then we'll go through the steps in order to address sleep first, to address eating behaviors, protein versus fats versus carbs, like we explained on the other stuff. So my goal was to really be able to do a course from people that are totally beginner into the nutrition protocol up to people who have been doing it for a while, and how can they advance themselves a little bit more. A lot of it will have to do with your habits more than anything else. Nutrition is about stabilizing first, like getting muscle, getting a six-pack and everything. Nutrition will have a play in it, obviously, but it is relating to training first and foremost. What we can do to help people lose weight is cleaning up the stuff that should not be there. I will always agree with you. This is what we should look at first. If you drink a liter of soda a day, that we can start talking about this. It's very important and all that type of things. But this is also what I want to add to this protocol this time is all the study that I've been doing regarding anxiety. Because as I was explaining in my course about anxiety, like for example, glutamate as an excitatory neurotransmitter has his role to play in anxiety. Like the entire excitatory system is obviously the basis of anxiety. So glutamate has a part in it. And you will find that glutamate is a neurotransmitter, but it's also something you absorb through food. So for example, when it comes to sleep, what is the difference between having glutamate, let's say casein, or having magnesium, which is an inhibitor instead of an excitator, before you go to bed? Does that affect deep sleep then? And so based on this, we can start to address the issues of sleep and, you know, like when does an excitator gets into what is called an excitotoxin, what are the levels? All that thing I want to approach into the next course on the protocol as well. So it should be a full 8 weeks with a lot of back and forth between the theoretical aspect, right? For example, excitator, stuff like that. And then the practical, how do we eat? And more importantly, how do we explain either to ourselves or to our clients that we should eat this way? Because it's easy to say, for example, no carbs. I'm not what I'm saying in the course at all, but I'm sure you had that with some of your clients where you say no carbs. It's easy to say yes. It's a lot harder to do it. So why? Why is it so hard to get off carbs? We can talk about that as well. Like there's a number of reasons on that, but they're behavior-based and they're anxiety-based as well. They're excitatory-based. And that's what I want to talk about in the next protocol starting on June 18th. Cool. See you guys there.